see what they're building for at the Unicorn Hall?
At what?
At the Unicorn Hall in Epcot. They're
No.
doing a gingerbread spaceship with it.
Oh. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is J&B Adventures, and we are at the Grand Floridian Cafe for breakfast. We haven't been here in a while, but the gingerbread house is almost complete and almost open. So let's do a little preview. Yeah, the tree's not up yet, but oh, look at the top. Let me zoom in here, guys, so you can see some details. That's kind of cool. Oh, look. Inside the top of it's like a little stove. Huh.
Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah. Very pretty. They always do such a good job on this They do a good job on all the gingerbread houses, let's face it. It's gorgeous. Oh, our table's ready. Oh, we'll come back. All right. Breakfast is this like it's Sunday brunch. Ooh, that's why Bill wanted to come here. Here's the menu. Bill, what are you getting? I know I'm getting coffee is what I'm getting. I don't know what I'm getting. So at the Grand Floridian Cafe, they give you biscuits. And what kind of butter is that? You think that's orange, probably.
Orange zest butter.
Orange zest. I never have them, so I'm going to try it. It's very soft, by the way. It's not a heavy biscuit. All right. The biscuit with orange butter. It's okay. I like the biscuit though. I'm not a biscuit fan, but they're good.
Or you're really hungry.
Or I'm really hungry.
They're good.
They're nice and soft. I got the grand breakfast with eggs, bacon, and sausage, and a cheesy casserole. So good. And Bill got, of course, the steak and eggs. Right? Oh, and he got an espresso martini. His first one. Now, I don't like the espresso martinis. It's like heartburn in a cup for me, but let's see how Bill likes it.
You want to try it?
No.
You want to smell it?
Maybe I'll try it later.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Brenda.
And our breakfast came. Holy crap. Look at that steak. I want to try that. There's my grand breakfast. We have to try that steak. Try your martini. And he'll give me a bite.
Sure about that?
I'll try it. I tried it. It's good, but not like... I can't drink a lot. That would give me heartburn all day.
Yeah, but it'll light your pencil. It'll light the candle.
We're gonna head over to Magic Kingdom to check out the Christmas decorations today. After breakfast, hungry.
Last week, pumpkins. This week, trees.
Yeah, last week pumpkins, this week trees. Okay, done with breakfast. I love this. This is in the merch shop, right out of the Grand Floridian Cafe. I love that.
It's their Stitch.
Where's Stitch? Oh, right on the thingy. Up there, Stitch.
The trees are like this.
Oh, I like that. Look at the trees.
Chippendale.
It's cute.
They're all the characters.
Eh. That's cool. They're cute. That's a good gingerbread house. I think I like this one better than last year's.
Yeah. Well, I feel like those little things you don't get to see when there's a million people there.
Yeah. All right, we are gonna head over to Magic Kingdom to see some of the Christmas decorations. I think the tree's up now.
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right. It is a beautiful freaking day out. It is windy. They'll hear me. They might not hear you. We need to get microphones. But we decided to walk to Magic Kingdom from the Grand Floridian.
Did you see that bird just caught a bug? Did you see that?
I might have caught it on film, honey. I don't know. We'll have to replay that bitch. It is a beautiful walk from the Floridian to Magic Kingdom. So if you're not in any rush and I would
Extra steps in.
and want some extra steps in, the walk from Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom is beautiful.
Just working on
What?
it.
Just I hope you guys didn't hear that. Anyways,
It's gonna be magical.
it's anyways. All right. We're going to have a nice stroll here to the Magic Kingdom. What?
Why are they really protecting? Like, what do they think is gonna hit that pillar? A random runner?
I don't know,
I don't
honey.
remember seeing those before. Like, did somebody crash a golf cart into the fucking monorail?
I don't know. I don't know, honey. But beautiful day here at in beautiful Florida. The Sunshine State. The best move we ever made. What is today, Bill?
My 1 year Floridaversary. I've been
Yay.
a Florida resident for 1 year.
And what are you going to do today?
My civic duty. I'm gonna boat.
You're supposed to say, I'm going to Disney
Well,
World.
then I'm going to Disney World.
And just like that, the pumpkins are gone. No more bats. You know, it's kind of, it's impressive on how fast they do it, but, and I guess they do start it at like in August. No, I mean like the Halloween decorations.
I was over it.
Yeah, I guess I was too. There's Mickey and Minnie instead of the pumpkins. All right, and the garland's out. Here we go. What ride is that from? Here we go.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Are you all ready? Ready? It's gonna be coming around the corner. And there it is. Yay! And boom, just like that is Christmas.
I'll take next. You're not doing that with me.
Can you just walk?
Which means now it's time for the toy soldiers.
Oh yeah. They don't have the toy soldiers out in the middle yet. I love the Christmas. I love all their decorations, like Christmas, Halloween. I don't know. They're just awesome. There's the decorations on there.
my favorite.
The Christmas ones are your favorite.
Yeah.
Bill got his haircut last weekend there. We've been at Magic Kingdom a lot lately.
This is 3 in a row. We're going back next week.
So pretty. I love the big wreaths with the light in them. I'm still not taking down my Mickey.
Oh, he's gotta get a they want to walk through the field. They like to get this shot.
I do like to get this shot. Everybody likes to see this shot. And we have Christmas music piped in instead of Disney. That's awesome. And then we'll start seeing all the film crews here next week. Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. What a good view.
And to continue on now, we would
Here
love to
comes
sing
the
a
Dapper
beautiful song
Dan.
for all of you. This one's one of my favorites. It's titled "Give a Bald Man a Comb and He'll Never Part with It."
Am I right?
Yeah.
True. You like that one too, don't you? All right, skip that one, guys.
Okay.
Let's do it down our way. And that old gay long line, they say sweet
Back to the Hall of Presidents. Show starts in just 5 minutes. But we thought it was appropriate. This could be the last time we see, it will be the last time we see Joe Biden. Because he's not running for a second term, nor should he. I'm not political here, but if you all don't know that the man doesn't have all his faculties with him, I'm sorry. But I don't care who wins. I mean, I do, but we're not going to say it on here because it's not the place. But we do have to do the Hall of Presidents because, again, it's the last time Mr. Biden, President Biden, is going to be front and center. They have the portraits of most of the presidents here. Not most,
And
some.
we hope you will enjoy the Hall of Presidents.
Abe. Mr. Jackson. Oh, I gotta go in. Time to go in. Oops, sorry guys, I'm sure you just got sick. 22-minute show here, guys. Look at that. Boom, boom. Brownie. Where are we sitting, Bill? Where are we sitting? These are the most comfortable seats in Disney World.
I agree with
They're definitely more comfortable than a Carousel of Progress.
But I like the Carousel of Progress.
The air conditioning is better.
Yeah, it's a little stuffy in here. They're starting to tone down the AC in Disney.
You think, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting it's getting cooler out. They're gonna start to turn down the AC. Sons of bitches. We're New York people. We're not used to this yet. Well, we are kind of used to it.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
This program is dedicated to the memory of Walt Disney. In 1971, his love for America inspired the creation of the Hall of Presidents, a place to celebrate the optimism and goodwill he saw at the heart of the American story. Walt's vision was to honor the nation by honoring the American presidency.
It is 1783, and the smoke is clearing in the wake of the Revolutionary War. Over the course of 8 grinding years, General George Washington has led a force of shopkeepers, farmers, and Native American allies to victory over the greatest military power in the world. A new nation has been born, independent and free. The founders must form a national government. In 1787, Through months of passionate debate, they create a written constitution. For the country's highest office, they imagine something new in the history of the world. A leader not born to power like a king or queen. A leader who has not seized power through conquest. A leader not separate from the people, but elected by the people, from among the people. We, the people. This is a new idea, an American idea. The idea of a president. The people don't know exactly what a president will be, but there is little doubt who it will be. George Washington's stature and bearing have marked him as a leader. His integrity has made him a great one. Washington knows that many generals who have led successful revolutions make themselves dictators or kings. Instead, he steps down from power and retires to his home, Mount Vernon. The world takes note, and George Washington becomes the symbol of American ideals. In the first presidential election, it's Washington by a landslide. The only doubt seems to be his own. He writes, "Integrity and firmness is all I can promise. Integrity and firmness is exactly what we need." Everything he does as president will set a model for his successors. His final act may be the most important of all. After 2 terms, with no term limit in the Constitution and amid overwhelming support to stay in office, he steps down once again and hands power back to the people. He wants us to speak, to elect a new president. During the early years of the Republic, we choose leaders as different as Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Andrew Jackson. Elections are often bitter. Each president stands at that fiery intersection where personal character meets the challenges of the times. Some call the presidency a glorious burden. Jefferson calls it a splendid misery. We, the people, must choose well. We elect 15 presidents before the course of history brings us to the edge of a crisis like no other. A nation born of freedom still permits slavery. As the country pushes west, will new states be slave or free? The question produces bitter conflict. The issue rocks the election of 1860 and brings Abraham Lincoln onto the national stage. The tall, lanky, some say uncouth candidate from Illinois is a master of words at a time when speeches are printed in full for people to read. A house divided against itself cannot stand, he has said. With Lincoln's election, the House does indeed divide. Civil War. 11 states secede from the Union. The war becomes a defining passage in the American story. The president's own inner strength and depth of character changed the course of history. Lincoln had come up the hard way, on the American frontier, desperately poor, with less than a year of formal schooling. His early years were scarred by tragedy, the death of his mother, his sister, his first love. He struggles with depression, but never loses his determination to rise above it. He once said he's driven by a desire to leave the world a little better place for having lived in it. The war rages. Lincoln fights to preserve the Union and end slavery. Neither is a sure thing. At Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 6 months after one of the bloodiest battles of the war, the president dedicates a cemetery to the thousands of soldiers who died there, in words we can never forget.
407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The blood of over 500,000 Americans is spilled in this Civil War. President Lincoln's enduring hope is to give true meaning to the sacrifices of so many, to lead us to that new birth of freedom. With the end of the war and the end of slavery, a new birth truly begins. As we roll toward the 20th century, settlers roll west on wagon wheels and railroads connect the nation coast to coast. Millions of immigrants pour in from Europe and Asia. Population doubles. Our economy triples. Our standing among nations rises. We need presidents who can lead both at home and abroad. At the same time, a young Theodore Roosevelt is retreating from New York politics and personal tragedy. The death of his wife and his mother on the same day in the same house. In the Badlands of North Dakota, he rethinks his life and the life of his country. He returns stronger in body and spirit. His renewed energy is just what his country needs. American industry is booming, but social tensions are rising. A progressive movement is bubbling up, pushing for change, and change is needed in the working and living conditions in cities. The gap widens between rich and poor. The demand for change grows stronger. Teddy Roosevelt is a knight on a crusade. He speaks with force and vitality in clear terms that make colorful headlines at a time when mass market newspapers have become the new media. To define his foreign policy, he borrows a phrase from an African proverb: speak softly and carry a big stick. But his greatest accomplishments are made at home. He breaks up giant monopolies, protects workers' rights, and calls for a square deal for all Americans, rich and poor, capitalist and wage earner.
And a square deal for every man and every woman in the United States.
He calls on America to be as great as the natural grandeur of its lands. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground, he tells us. And we do.
bottom fell out of the market. 12 million unemployed. The bread lines and the soup. The results of the 1932 election now appear.
When we elect our 32nd president, it is the worst of times. The course of history and the course of one president's life again shape a turning point in our national destiny. Franklin D. Roosevelt, paralyzed by polio, knows how to restore the faith of a people paralyzed by the Great Depression.
I believe in practical explanation and in practical policy.
He has found the inner strength his countrymen now need. He speaks to us like a friend, a neighbor. His optimism is contagious, his voice perfect for the latest breakthrough medium, radio. He calls us to believe we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And we do believe.
Tonight's attacks on England are perhaps the most widespread of the war in the course of the day.
But an even greater challenge dominates his final years in office. The Second World War.
We must be the great arsenal of democracy. This is an emergency as serious as war itself.
We stun the world with our production. When bombs fall on U.S. troops in Pearl Harbor, he calls us to fight on the war front and sacrifice on the home front.
The harder the sacrifice, the more glorious the triumph. So spoke America in the year 1776. So speak Americans today.
The world changes. The country changes. And yet, in one sense, what we need most from our presidents has never changed. A guiding vision that calls forth the best that America can be.
Will outer space be developed for the benefit of all mankind? Or will it become another focus for the arms race? The choice is urgent, and it is ours to make.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
But really, it's all of us who must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice. And we shall overcome.
One of the agreements that President Sadat and Prime Minister Begin are signing tonight is entitled A Framework for Peace in the Middle East.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
You have lost too much, but you have certainly not lost America.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you.
Loving this country requires the willingness to speak out for what is right, to shake up the status quo. That's America.
Our presidency is no longer just an idea. It is an idea with a proud history. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the United States of America. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James A. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard M. Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. And now we come to the present. Once again, we place our trust in the idea of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
The presidency of the United States is a role unique in the world, an office entrusted to each president by us, we the people. Therein lies the genius of that new idea, now over 200 years old. A new idea our presidents have turned into a great American idea again and again.
Our presentation.
All right. That's the last time we'll probably see Hall of Presidents before
they switch it up.
President Biden goes away. He hasn't spoken that good since he did his first debate with Donald Trump. I'm sorry. All right. Let's do another show. We're going to do Country Bear Jamboree. Why not? Today's the day of shows, you said, right?
Yep.
The day of shows. All right, off we go. All right, we're gonna end the video with
waiting in line for Country Bear Jamboree out. I can't help it that I'm short. Can't help it.
Ever shrinking.
I am shrinking. All right, guys, have a good week, and we'll see you next weekend, right? For the Christmas parade.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come here a couple times next week.
Yeah. It's the Christmas special that they're taping, so we're going to watch the Christmas parade. Good times. All right, have a good week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.